Where do you wear your yoga pants?
Running errands. Watch TV.
Shopping.
Athleisure wear, the trendy apparel that's like a second skin. But could these comfy clothes be causing you to gain weight? And an Oz exclusive investigation. We go undercover to find out if your new workout wear may already be dirty. Coming up next.
Y'all ready for season 10?
Yeah!
I love you, Dr. Oz.
Now, you may be wondering why my entire audience is dressed like this, right? We asked everyone to wear their favorite athleisure gear. You guys look fabulous, by the way. Get comfortable with the show. Because today we're launching an undercover investigation into an item you consider almost like your second skin, your yoga pants. Today we investigate them from seam to seam. What did our lab find hiding in that tight fabric you buy at the store? Could these pants secretly be making you sick? Or are they the real reason you're gaining weight? It seems as if athleisure wear is not just a trend anymore, but it's a way of life. Joining us now, investigative reporter Mara Schiavocampo, to walk us through how this has exploded to become a mainstay in our wardrobe.
Yeah, and this trend has exploded. It started a long time ago in the late 50s with the invention of Lycra, because leggings as we know them today would not be possible without that material. But it really didn't become a full-blown trend a few years later until the 70s. And that's when we saw huge stars like Debbie Harry and Olivia Newton-John
Remember it well.
wearing them out and about. Women couldn't get enough. This new recent wave of popularity, though, we can partly thank Kim Kardashian for, because she really popularized the leggings as pants trend.
So it seems like it's become $1 billion industry with her leadership and others.
A huge industry. According to the Census Bureau, imports of elastic pants have now topped imports of jeans for the first time ever, and this is a $1 billion industry. It doesn't look like it's going anywhere.
Oh my goodness. So lots of money, lots of people you like wearing them, including you. I see them everywhere as well. But I've always wondered, are people really only wearing these when they work out? Think about that. Do you do yoga when you wear your yoga pants? So we took to the streets to find out what you're really doing in these pants. Take a look.
The truth, I'm heading home to watch TV. I'm just running errands today.
I'm actually on my way to the bank. Actually, I'm going to get coffee.
Actually, I'm going shopping.
I'm going shopping.
Actually going shopping.
I'm actually going to work right now.
Just going home to watch TV, hang out.
Truth, I'm not actually going to yoga. Definitely not yoga.
So basically, no one was on their way to the gym. Our first ever online athleisure poll also found that 66% of you don't even do yoga in these pants. So Mara, you have a theory about how athleisure garb may actually increase weight gain.
Yeah, we call this Athleisure S.O.S, stretch out syndrome. So what does that mean? You see these pants, you see how much they stretch. That could be affecting your weight loss journey in a couple ways. For one thing, while you're eating, you're not getting any feedback on if you're overeating compared to, say, pants that don't give as much. You can see these are gonna give you a little bit of feedback. The other thing is if you're wearing these stretchy pants all the time, you're not gonna get any feedback on whether or not you're putting on some pounds, and that's when the weight can really start to creep up.
Which is why I think some people actually wear them. They don't want that feedback. You don't want that uncomfortable skinny jean look, but we'll get to that. Yeah. So Mara helped us with 2 social experiments to find out if there really is a connection between weight gain and these pants, or as she calls it, Athleisure S.O.S. The first experiment, do these pants inadvertently make you eat more? Athleisure addicts and best friends, Hala and Melissa, joining us. Thank you for being here. They wore their favorite yoga pants for 5 days, if I got this right.
Yes.
Right, for 5 days. And here's the thing, then you have to wear your skinny jean pants for 5 days in a row.
Yep.
Did you actually do that?
Yes.
It was hard, but I did.
All right.
We both did.
So how long have you been addicted to these athleisure outfits?
To be honest, before this experiment, I probably didn't wear jeans for like 9 months.
A long time.
Yeah.
Felt good to be out of jeans.
Oh, yeah.
And what can you, and you like wearing these clothes as well, primarily?
Oh, I'm obsessed. I mean, this is the easiest thing. I just open up, I'm like, oh, perfect. I know what I'm wearing. This stuff matches. And even if it doesn't match, I'm just run and gun, go. I can shop in this. I can go to the mall.
Dress it up, dress it down.
Yeah, hopefully get to the gym. I'll be ready. I don't even need to change.
I get all the benefits. You could go to the gym if you wanted to, although as we learned, 2/3 of people don't actually do that. Are we ready for the results?
Yeah, so they gave us their food logs, and our medical unit determined how many calories they were eating, and here's what we found. So Hala, we found that you ate about 1,320 calories a day while you were wearing your yoga pants.
Okay.
And Melissa, you ate about 1,600 calories a day while you were wearing your yoga pants.
Okay.
Sound about right?
Yeah.
Now
Not proud of that number, but it's fine.
let's compare it to what they did once they had to get back into their jeans.
Yeah, so when they were wearing their jeans, there was a drastic difference. Both of them ate a lot less calories. So Melissa, we found that you ate 1,032 calories. That's 600 calories less. And Hala, we found that you had 1,016. So that's about 300 calories less.
Sheesh, I gotta put these jeans back on.
Well, first of all, what was the biggest change? Hala, we'll start with you.
Honestly, when I wore the jeans, since I haven't worn jeans in so long, I realized like I wasn't my size that I thought I always was. And then also like the discomfort, or not discomfort, but like it's tight. You're like more restricted, so it's not as comfortable.
Is there something that you ate when you were in your athleisure pants that you didn't eat when you were in the jeans? Something you gave up?
Absolutely, like especially with breakfast, because you know when you wake up, you're just like, okay, and then you put that bagel in your mouth and it's gone. So I definitely didn't do that when it came to the
And
jeans.
Melissa, how about you?
I realized that when I was wearing the jeans, I was a lot less lazier. When I had the yoga pants, I just kept thinking I had all the time to get to the gym. And it just never happened. When I had the jeans, it was just, okay, I need to go home, get ready,
Like
and
intention.
go. Yeah, it was, I'm like, my God, I need to wear jeans more often. Why am I just...
So what I'm taking away from this, what I'm hearing is that the athleisure is an unfortunate crutch that lets you get away with stuff you probably know you shouldn't do.
Yeah.
Okay, that was part one of the experiment. Part two of the experiment, walk over here if you don't mind, is we wanted to find out just how much these jeans, these athleisure outfits actually stretch out. So we've got a pair of Hala's old pants, and Melissa, those are your old pants. Those are the ones you were wearing all this time, right?
Yes.
You wear them every single day. All right, then let's just go through it. So Hala, your old pants, roughly 24 inches, we measured it.
Yep.
Melissa, yours was a little bit tiny bigger, 24.5 inches. Are you all ready to see what you originally had purchased? Because we got the original brands, the original sizes. Go ahead and flip her. Hala, you go first. Flip
I'm
it around.
nervous.
I was just about to say that.
And your original pants, 21 inches. 21
All
inches.
right.
That's a 3-inch difference. You can see it here, actually. I don't know if you can appreciate that. There's a big difference between where you are now and what your original
Yeah.
pants is.
Wow.
All right? And
Yeah.
Melissa, I'll flip yours just to save you the
Yes.
hassle. 22 inches.
Jeez.
So yours was
Oh,
also
gosh.
almost 3 inches different. So what do you think about that? I mean, that's a fascinating difference that I did not anticipate.
Well, yeah, I actually thought I was getting skinnier, but now I think I'm realizing that the pants are just getting bigger. So super
A
eye-opening.
little scary.
Yeah.
Mara, this is your theory, your Athleisure S.O.S. theory.
Here it is at work. The thing is, these pants are made for working out, but they may actually be subtly sabotaging your efforts a little bit, as we're seeing here. Because think about it, when you're wearing your skinny jeans or a form-fitting dress, it has a little bit of a psychological component. It checks you, it restricts you a little bit. You don't want to overindulge. So I think it's important to just make sure that you're still wearing those regular clothes at least a few times a week, so that you're checking in with your normal wardrobe.
Or at least wear new pairs of athleisure. I'm donating both of these to your cause.
You can get rid of these.
Yeah, you can donate this, please. I do not want this.
Well, at least take the new ones. We bought them for
The new
you.
ones I'll take. Yeah.
Up next, could your favorite athleisure wear be the reason that you're feeling sick? Not just heavy, but sick. The surprising answer is next. In minutes, dinner is served. But is the plastic on these microwave meals toxic? We're at the Good Housekeeping Lab, putting your favorite frozen foods to the test. We are peeling back the truth on packaging and keeping you from getting sick.
Plus, forget Turkey Day tension. We've got foolproof fixes for a stress-less Thanksgiving.
That is a pretty good result.
All new Oz. That's coming up on Monday.
We're back with our athleisure investigation. Now, while athleisure may look good on the outside, it may be hurting you on the inside. Here's the question. Could your favorite yoga pants be the hidden reason that you're feeling sick? Expert in women's health, Dr. Yael Vernado is here. And before the show, we set up a rolling rack and a polling rack all at the same time to find out how long people were wearing these pants. So you've rolled in our polling rack.
Yes.
And I'm just picking one here. So there are some people who didn't wear them for very long. That's a 4 hours person there.
Nope, but then we had ladies who said 10 hours, 12 hours, 8 hours. You know, honestly, Dr. Oz, the average reported was 8 hours. Most people are actually staying in their athleisure wear a whole work day.
Does that sound right to you guys? Yeah. Kick your legs up. Let me see those athleisure outfits. Yeah, I see that. You're enjoying it in there. Feels nice and comfortable in that. All right. So you're in these pants for hours and hours. On average, 8, you told us, at our polling rack. Are they really doing things to your body that you don't want to do? Ashley says that she lives in her yoga pants and is worried they could be causing her more harm than good.
Hey Dr. Oz, my name's Ashley and I love yoga pants. I wear my yoga pants all the time. They're basically like my second skin, but I'm starting to get worried that they're gonna cut off my circulation. Sometimes, every time I put them on, my legs feel a little tingly and numb. And you know, I don't wanna stop wearing them altogether because I love yoga pants and I spend a lot of my paychecks on them. But you know, I would like to know what's going on. So what's the truth?
Does athleisure really cause bad circulation? That's the question, Dr. V.
That's a great question. So the likelihood that the athleisure wear is actually cutting off her circulation is actually low. What's probably more of a problem is that she's having compression of the nerve, maybe of the leg and the thigh, and it's in the skin area, and that can actually lead to the numbness and the tingling that she's feeling. So over time, that can actually lead to a lot of nerve damage.
All right, so that's one concern. Next question, can athleisure cause heartburn? Ladler's a big athleisure fan. What are you worried about with your athleisure outfits? They look good, by the way.
Yeah, thanks. So I mean, I love athleisure wear. It's just really comfortable. It's a quick grab and go outfit. I love wearing it to the gym, but also just like everyday shopping or just going out. But every time I wear them, I seem to like get heartburn. So I don't know if that's a correlation or not because it seems kind of weird. But I mean, does that make sense?
So the data is kind of inconclusive about this, but you're exactly right. You and other people have experienced those symptoms. And so essentially what happens, anything that's kind of squeezing your abdomen actually increases pressure, and that can lead to increase in acid. You know, so you're feeling the burn, but you're not feeling it down here in the tushy, you're feeling it up here in your chest.
Now, I'm gonna actually put you inside your belly to show you what's going on. Okay. All right, so we built you a little model here. So inside your body, the yoga pants is something very interesting. So if you can look here carefully, look, there's the body there, right? And we can freeze it right there. Okay, now you notice that I pushed it on the sides a little bit to reflect what your athleisure pants might do to you. Yeah. Frankly, any type of pair of pants might do this. But let's look at the organs on the inside. There's pressure on those organs when you eat things, for example, will distract how your stomach works. So let's push the food down your stomach. You'll notice the stomach is now being filled with food, but when you squeeze it, it regurgitates and pushes some of that food back up in here, right? And when it does that, you get that burning in your esophagus, the food tube, and that's what we call heartburn. Oh. Those are the symptoms you're actually experiencing. So they're not in your head, they're actually truly in your belly.
Wow.
So Dr. Vernado, what do you recommend? What should we do to avoid these problems?
You need to take a break. You know, you kind of need to cycle your athleisure wear. So a day on, a day off is really the best thing to do because as you're seeing, it can have some long-term consequences.
Hope that's helpful.
Thank you very much.
At least you won't have reflux as much.
Yeah.
Up next, our athleisure investigation continues with an undercover investigation. Stick around.
In another store, it was clear that they were perfectly willing to take back a product I had worn.
If something's not dirty or stained.
But if they've been worn?
Yes, you can wear them today, like today, go to a party, bring them back tomorrow.
And that's okay?
Yeah.
Ready for this?
It's The Dish on Oz, our brand new food series.
Make it tasty.
Daphne Oz and Friends. We're serving it up every Wednesday in November. The Dish on Oz.
In past investigations, we revealed contaminated underwear being sold at major retailers. Our test results were shocking. We found fecal matter, bacteria, and even blood on store-bought undergarments.
Just like to return this stuff.
We did our own experiment and uncovered major retailers restocking returned underwear as new. Now I'm going undercover with hidden cameras to buy athleisure pants to find out just how clean they are when you purchase them. Could they also be hiding potentially dangerous bacteria, yeast, and mold? I'm visiting a number of popular national chains. First and foremost, I wanted to understand store policy with regard to restocking potentially contaminated products.
Have they been put back? What's this tag?
They're a return.
So how can I tell if something is or isn't? Because like a lot of people, like I don't wear anything under these when I wear them. Like somebody could have worn these, right?
I wear it.
Okay.
In another store, it was clear that they were perfectly willing to take back a product I had worn.
As long as they're not dirty or stained.
But if they've been worn,
Yes, you can wear them today, like today, go to a party, bring them back tomorrow.
and that's okay?
Yeah.
And then do you guys wash them before you resell them?
I don't know where they send them to.
But it was at one of the store registers that I was truly shocked.
But how do I know that this hasn't been worn?
Well, we don't. We trust that the customer is being honest and forthright with us.
Okay.
And we don't even ask those questions. How comfortable would you feel if I asked you, did you wear this now?
Well, isn't it supposed to be unworn?
But I would never ask.
Well, if it's part of the policy.
If it looks unworn, I'm going to return it. Because especially with this kind of tag, she could have worn it and then put this thing back on there. Because why would it be in the middle of this right here? It should be on the top.
Right.
Considering what I just heard, I'm giving these pants to our med team, who will catalog them and ship them to the lab for testing. Could these athleisure pants you're buying as new be dirty?
We tested 11 pairs of yoga pants. Here's what our lab test results revealed. 10 out of the 11 tested positive for coliform bacteria. That's something that could just be from handling the material when it was being made, right? Coliform. It does come from the gut, but people may have touched themselves and then touched your clothes. That's okay. One of the pants tested was contaminated with E. coli. We'll get to that in a second. Another one of the pants tested had levels of yeast and mold that were higher than the cutoff value for our test. So I got E. coli going on here, and I got yeast and mold. So let me bring back my experts, Dr. V and Mara. How do you think, Dr. V, these pants, the two that I mentioned at the end especially, got contaminated with the bacteria and with the fungus?
Oh, Dr. Oz, I mean, this is awful. I mean, as we saw from Mara's investigative study, I mean, people are buying them, wearing them, and then returning them. Yeah. And so, you know, they're tight pants, and I know a lot of people don't wear any underwear when they wear them, so that means that other people's bacteria is, you know, getting on you, and they're, like I said, they're tight, and they're in nether regions where bacteria is going to spread and they become contaminated.
And so these parts of the physique, which you're all well aware of, are places where we, on purpose, are protective. And if it's on clothes that are form-fitting to you, you don't want it to form-fit you and somebody else. It's designed for you.
Yes.
Right? The fabric should only be touching you.
Yes.
So many of you have thought to wash underwear after you buy them, right? You've thought about that. Underwear, we talked about that. But not many of you have considered washing your pants before wearing them. With athleisure, that becomes a real issue. So Dr. V, what are your concerns as a doctor about the things we just talked about?
Well, you know, the reality is that you can actually get a UTI or even buttony, which is acne on your butt. And
buttony?
So, buttony, yeah, and you don't want that.
No, we don't want
I mean,
buttony.
we laugh, but you really don't want it.
No.
So you don't want contaminated pants. You want pants that have only been worn by you.
So in our investigation, so many of our shopping clerks, and you saw them all, they seem very nonchalant about these pants being used before you actually purchased them. Mara, you're actually in the stores. What are the return policies? What's the official word on what's supposed to happen?
There is no one standard. It varies. It varies from state to state. It varies from store to store. We found one store that would take it back within 3 months. That's a huge amount of time. And like we've mentioned, a lot of women are essentially wearing these as undergarments. So it's very different than, say, another item of clothing.
Mm-hmm. We actually reached out to the National Retail Federation for a statement. They declined to comment. Dr. V, come on over here. What do you recommend for us after we shop for athleisure? What should we do with the clothing?
So the first thing, honestly, as soon as you take the tags off, you need to wash them. And if you're going to wash them inside out. Make sure that you're using cold water because hot water is actually going to destroy the fabric. And then you want to wash these clothes, your yoga pants, workout pants, separate from the rest of your clothes so that the proteins and the bacteria that's actually coming off of your skin and are in the clothes can actually get washed away.
All right, forewarned, you all know now. You're well informed enough to make the right decisions, so spread the word. Mara and Dr. V, thank you very much. We'll be right back. Up next, singer Michelle Williams is here, opening up about how she's made it through dark times, plus the big marriage decision she's made. So your fiancé is joining us coming up. Yeah. Give me, in one word, how would you describe him?
Oh, how would I describe him? He's amazing!
Stick around.
How many times has the ring come off?
Dr. Tamer, whose side are you on?
I just need to know. I just need to know. It's for informational purpose.
There's a moment or moments
or I've taken off my ring, not because I didn't want to be with Chad, not because I don't want to get married, but I feel like, am I really good enough? I'm looking at this ring, and am I really worthy enough to wear it? I don't know.
She just asked how many times.
Oh, 3 times.
3 times.
It's definitely been more than 3.
She's a Grammy Award-winning singer from Destiny's Child, whose recent struggles have put a spotlight on mental health. Today, Michelle Williams is opening up about what really led her down a dark path that almost cost her everything. Please welcome Michelle Williams. Honor is all mine. So good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
You look great.
Thank you so much. First of all, backstage, they got a shot of your shoes.
Yes.
We need to do a segment just on shoes so you can tell us medically how they put you in a better mood.
They do, though.
They do.
I think the reason that men are often in a better mood is we're not torturing our feet all day long.
I know.
Although those are beautiful shoes.
I love these as well, but your shoes are really hot.
Well, thank you.
They're good. And second thing, thank y'all for picking good pictures of me.
All your pictures are good. As far as I can tell, I couldn't find a bad one.
Thank you.
I want to thank you very much. You have spoken out bravely about a challenge that so many people are facing, but just don't talk about. So I guess I should start off by saying, why were you willing to take the big leap? You were going through a dark time, yet you felt it was important to post about it.
Actually, it was not my plan to post about it. While I was in the mental health facility, my manager got a hold of me, and he said, someone just emailed me, and the email said, we got our hands on some sensitive information about Michelle Williams. We just want to know if it's correct, because we want to report it with respect. First of all, not reporting it would be the respectful thing.
Yep.
But I was like, you know what? They will probably report it anyway, but never let anybody tell your story for you. So I figured I would release a statement and just tell people. I do speeches about mental health across the country. And I was like, you know what? I tell people to get help, so let me admit that I'm seeking help.
Yeah. It's not even an admission. If you had a broken leg, you wouldn't admit you got a cast on it.
Yeah.
I think when things are not working the way they need to, getting help is the smart thing to do.
Yeah. You know, sometimes I look back and it's like I'm still in shock that it happened. I would have told it. I'm an open book. I'm very transparent. But to know that it was leaked, so I was very paranoid. I left the facility earlier than I would have liked to because of it. And I figured that is probably why people don't seek help, because of it getting out to people that they're in a institution or, but I don't even want to make it seem like an institution was a bad place. I didn't see anybody in there in a straitjacket. Right. I didn't see anybody in there walking around like they didn't know they existed. When I look around this entire room, when I look at you, it was literally me. It was us. It was us.
Do you think part of the reticence, part of the fear is because African Americans oftentimes are scared about mental health issues? It seems that way just from the scientific data that I look at.
I think culturally, now, is some of us in the audience, right? Yeah. Culturally, aren't we taught do not air out the family business? Okay, clap. Also, probably in every family, so I don't want to just say in African American families, but I know culturally we're taught to pray about it. Don't seek help for a mental health issue. Just pray about it. You're just possessed with demons or something. You need to go to the altar. You need to get some blessed oil, some holy water, whatever it is, and it'll go away. But it's like we don't tell a person that's having migraines every day. Mm-hmm. You go to the doctor to figure out why your head is hurting. Yeah. So just as I had to accept the brain is an organ as well, sometimes your emotions and things that you haven't healed from get so out of control that you have to go someplace where you can talk to somebody and get the help you need and possibly a prescription.
Right.
You know?
Well, this has been a long battle for you. Just hearing your story, I learned that you actually, even as a teen, were suffering through bouts of depression. How did your family deal with that? You were doing, you were a world famous Destiny's Child performer, and I mean, did Beyonce know? Did Kelly know?
They did not know until it was in my 30s that I was able to put a name to what I've been feeling all these years since the 7th grade.
Does it come on in waves, which is what a lot of people with depression say happens?
Yes, it can come in waves. I'd been suffering since January, but I didn't tell anybody. I'm in one of the happiest times of my life, but what I was feeling on the inside, my fiancé said it best. He's worked in pro sports for about 17 years, and he said, players play hurt. Yeah. Entertainers, we sometimes have to get on stage hurt, a cold, a headache, not feeling our best. And so that's what I had to do until it all kind of came crashing down for me, Dr.
So your
Oz.
fiance, who just introduces, Pastor Chad Johnson, he works with different NFL teams, so he's very well respected. A guy who seems to deeply love you.
Yeah.
You just had this huge reunion at Coachella, and yet there was an element of rage even to what you were feeling.
Yeah.
How do you reconcile that? What would make you angry?
Just, as they say, depression is you're still kind of sad and replaying things from the past. Anxiety is fear of the future. You're worried about the future. So some of my depression is unresolved things from the past. The resentment turns into bitterness, or if it's the other way around, bitterness turns into resentment. Resentment just ultimately leads to depression.
So, but what was causing such resentment that a man, a wonderful man falling in love with you, wouldn't provide some bit of a solve to that?
You can have, like I said, the greatest thing around you. You can have all the money in the world, but that does not heal some things internally. It does not. For me, it doesn't. So I got some answers that I needed because I said, I do not want to walk down the aisle at my wedding with some unresolved issues. The only baggage I'm taking into my marriage is the baggage for the honeymoon.
Up next, Michelle's fiancé, Chad Johnson, is here. He and Michelle are opening up about their biggest challenge yet, plus why they're deciding to wait to consummate their relationship. Stick around. In minutes, dinner is served. But is the plastic on these microwave meals toxic? We're at the Good Housekeeping Lab, putting your favorite frozen foods to the test. All new Oz. That's coming up on Monday.
In the depth of this depression, there were things that were very hurtful.
Can you say what was hurtful?
Specifically, you're obsessed with your family, you're obsessed with your ministry, you're obsessed with eating right. It just pretty much went down the line of everything that is important to me.
Depression shows up in different ways for different people, and for yours is the irritability and the anger.
I feel horrible that I hurt you and that you're still hurting, and I never want to do that to you ever again.
Hearing Michelle apologize, I know she means it. I just am kind of reluctant at this point. I don't want to hear another apology. I want this to stop.
We're back with singer Michelle Williams and her fiancé, Pastor Chad Johnson, who are taking us behind closed doors into their relationship. So, Chad, you were with Michelle during a really difficult period, and you learn a lot about people during that process. And I'm just curious, what did you get taught about this beautiful woman?
Well, she is beautiful. Thank you, Dr. Oz. But the beauty of Michelle goes way beyond her outward appearance, And so in dealing with our relationship and watching her kind of spiral down into this place that I didn't even know was actually happening, And I felt like as a man, we're fixers, right?
Exactly.
We try to fix everything.
It's the right word. We're fixers. Not listeners, we're fixers.
Yes, sir. And so I was trying as best I could to fix everything, and I wasn't fixing anything.
Michelle, as you were going through this and saw Chad's response, how did that change your relationship?
It taught us it taught me to tell him everything about how I feel, using wisdom, of course. Everything doesn't need to be said, but as it relates to how I'm feeling internally, that could ultimately affect our relationship. I have to say something. So it taught us to really be honest.
That's very thoughtful. You say you have to tell them everything using wisdom.
Oh, use wisdom, because we don't have to say everything that we're thinking, you know.
But what you feel and you need to share.
Yeah.
So you guys have made this controversial decision.
Is it controversial?
I think it is. I mean, you're both attractive people. I could see there is a biological desire. You don't want to consummate the marriage.
We are waiting, and it actually, when Chad and I started dating, he said sex is not an option. And I had, listen, it was a sigh of relief for me, because I was like, oh, so you don't desire that. I don't have to do that with you to keep you.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't feel the pressure.
You decided to go public with that, which, again, it's you think it's going to help you as a couple?
We went public with that as it relates to the show.
Yeah. I mean, on the show, we journey through that whole process now. But for us, and for me specifically, I wanted Michelle to feel that I will be present, available. She has my full attention without, the physical side. So for us to connect spiritually, mentally, and on just different levels that are going to keep us in the long run.
So can I tell you what's the proposal for a second? The proposal heard around the world. How did you pull this off? This is a very smart woman. I'm sure she's watching your every move.
You know what I tell her? I say she has to be like the granddaughter of Sherlock Holmes or something, right? Because she can figure out anything. And so I had prepared an entire proposal. I went and visited her family in Rockford, Illinois, and asked them for their blessing, kept it from her, and then took her up to Pebble Beach, which was the first place that I ever reached out to her. And she gave me, here's a football analogy for you. She gave me the Heisman. And
back then?
Yeah, she dissed me the first time. And so I said, let's redo the moment.
His flirting game was not good.
And so we relived the moment, and this time it was forever. And she said yes.
Yay!
Yeah, she said yes. And
That's beautiful. Can I toast both of you?
Yes.
Come on over here. I got something that's color coordinated with your outfit.
Oh, nice.
This is going to help you, all right? This is a special marriage mocktail. I don't believe you guys drink too much.
Okay, well, I can't anymore, so.
Well, this has got blueberries, which got antioxidants. It's got a little honey sweeten things up, but you got plenty of sweet going on.
Okay.
But the essence is green tea, which is always good for stress and managing your lives.
I love it.
I wish you the best.
Thank you,
and I
Dr.
know you'll do great.
Thank you,
Congratulations. Thank you. Check out Chad Loves Michelle Saturdays on OWN. God bless you both, my friends.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
For the first time together, Mary Jo and her daughter Jessie Buttafuoco open up about the day Amy Fisher changed their lives forever. That's coming up on Tuesday.
Before the show, I asked my audience one question. When it comes to managing type 2 diabetes, what comes to mind? Is it A, controlling your blood sugar? B, necessary diet and exercise? C, heart attack or stroke? Or D, all of the above? Oh, smartest audience in television. The answer indeed is D. It is D, and I'm proud of you for getting that, because a lot of folks don't. Now, too often when we think about type 2 diabetes, we forget what it's doing to your heart. And today, I want to change that mentality. Jacqueline knows all too well about this. She was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes 3 years ago. And thank you for being here, my dear.
Thank you.
So how have you altered your lifestyle because you were diagnosed with type 2 diabetes?
Oh, since I received my diagnosis, I've had to make many lifestyle changes, like eating more balanced diet, monitoring my blood sugar, and also developing an exercise routine and goals that I can actually achieve and stick to. All things, and also handling my stress better.
Yes.
And all things to help me manage my condition, and especially to avoid the related problems like heart attack and stroke.
Yeah, no one wants those.
So I've, also, since I started this journey, I've also been making more conscious decisions about what I eat, especially in restaurants, because I love to eat out. I love going out for meals. And so what I do now is I make a more conscious effort to choose things that are healthy alternatives. Like, for instance, instead of fried foods, I choose grilled foods. And in addition to that, I try to avoid things like sugary drinks, and it's really working out well for me, but it's really something that I had to really work on a lot.
You just listed two things that are huge obstacles for folks with type 2 diabetes. Being social, going out for dinner, right? And then the things you sort of like because you got used to them when you're younger, like soft drinks.
Right.
And giving up those realities of the everyday life is a challenge, but it's important. And I can say that in many different ways, but I think probably the best way is to take you somewhere where no man has gone before. I'm going to take you into the heart in order to show you what happens with someone who has type 2 diabetes, because it'll make all those obstacles you've jumped through worth the investment. Are you ready for this?
Oh, yeah.
All right, take a little voyage into the heart. So Jacqueline, this is what the normal heart looks like. You're in there.
Oh my God.
You can see there's a little fat present here. You see it close to me?
Yeah.
And there's little areas, spotty areas of plaque around the artery. See the little shiny area right there?
Wow, that's incredible.
Don't fall into the heart. I'm gonna take you on a little tour. Now, I'm gonna change this to a diabetic heart. All right, now diabetes, type 2 diabetes creates a fattier heart. You can sort of see this happening here. And it's not just fattier, it's more inflamed, it's stiff.
Oh my God.
And you can see that stiffness better if you go inside the heart. So I'm gonna actually divide the heart in half, take you right, there it is, you're right in the middle of it, all right?
Oh my goodness.
Now, that stiffness is called diastolic dysfunction, which alters the way the heart contracts and relaxes. You see it's getting inflamed down here, right? It also, by the way, will change how the heart beats, leading over time to heart failure as the heart begins to pull apart and weaken.
Oh my God.
Now, I'm going to do something that's going to completely blow your mind. We're going to go inside the arteries. Let's go inside the arteries. Pull back a second, take a step back. Now watch this. You're sitting right there on the top of the heart, looking at the coronary arteries. If you look inside the arteries, the supply of blood to the heart goes through those arteries, right? You can see there's damage. Watch the damage. Put your see that cloud? That's the sugar. That cloud's diabetes, and you're going to start to see plaque begin to come up and elevate with the elevated glucose and the inflammation. And see the plaque, the yellow stuff here that's starting to form there? Right? That plaque's getting tighter and tighter. It's squeezing the ability of blood to come through these arteries. What does that look like to you?
Wow, I had no idea what this looks like.
Mankind could never do this before. For the first time, you could actually see inside of an artery that's being blocked off with the blood sugar coming at you, and then seeing the damage that diabetes can do to your heart.
Incredible. This is incredible.
You ready to go back into the studio and learn about this a little bit?
Yes, I think if more people see this, they're really gonna understand this whole thing a lot better and take the situation seriously.
Let's head back to the real world. We're back. So what do you think about your trip into the heart?
That was amazing. I've never seen anything quite like that. That's incredible.
Well, no one has. That's the thing about it. And we can talk about it till we're blue in the face, but when you actually see what happens to the heart during diabetes, you can never forget it again. So what does this all mean for Jacqueline and anyone with type 2 diabetes? Well, the good news is you can change your fate through diet, exercise, and the proper treatment plan that manages your diabetes and your cardiovascular risk. And to tell us more, come join me. I brought in cardiologist Dr. Pam Taub, who's here on behalf of my trusted sponsorship partner, Boehringer Ingelheim and Eli Lilly and Company. What does type 2 diabetes mean for someone's life expectancy? Someone like Jacqueline.
Well, when you have type 2 diabetes, your life expectancy goes down by 5 years. And if you have type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease, your life expectancy goes down by an additional 5 years for a total of 10-year decrease in life expectancy. What we've learned from recent studies is just lowering hemoglobin A1C, which is a marker of blood glucose, isn't enough. We have to do more to prevent cardiovascular disease for our patients with type 2 diabetes.
So what advice do you give to your patients, the patients who have type 2 diabetes, in order to avoid a cardiovascular event?
Well, there's a lot of information that they need to understand. So to help patients synthesize this information better, we've created the Don't Miss a Beat campaign. And as part of that campaign, we have a website, which is www.thediabeticheart.com, that really synthesizes all this information, including different drugs that you can talk to your physician about, that can help you reduce your risk of cardiovascular disease in the setting of type 2 diabetes. In addition, it's really important to talk to your healthcare team about lifestyle modification, including optimizing your diet and also weight loss.
I'm very proud of you for taking the bull by the horn on this and doing all the things you can do, and in particular making sure you share that information with people who care for you. All right?
Yes,
thanks for the trip today.
Thank you.
All right. I want to thank Jacqueline, Dr. Taub. We've also put a doctor discussion guide on DrOz.com. Bring it to your doctor and keep the conversation about your heart and type 2 diabetes going. It'll be worth your investment. We'll be right back.
This segment was brought to you by Boehringer Ingelheim and Eli Lilly and Company.
In minutes, dinner is served. But is the plastic on these microwave meals toxic? We're at the Good Housekeeping Lab, putting your favorite frozen foods to the test. All new Oz.
That's coming up on Monday. Why are people wearing these, look carefully, on their nose, right? Pazzi, how does it feel?
It feels like a nice blanket.
Nice blanket. Emily?
Cozy, a little itchy, but it's comfy.
There's a new trend that's taken over the internet. And here's the question. Can this nose warmer protect you? See them all wearing it? Can the nose warmer protect you from catching a cold? What do you think, guys?
I mean, I have no idea. I think it could potentially keep some stuff from getting in there, but it's really hard to tell.
Pazia?
Well, it would be nice not to feel like Rudolph every winter.
Yes, gets red and runs and you're irritated. So I've got my producer, Tennille, outside. Tennille, it's cold out there in the loading dock. How's your nose out there?
Not bad. Very warm and stylish.
Well, you are very stylish. I like that look, by the way. Come on in. Get out of the cold. Listen, your moms always said stay out of the cold to prevent you from getting sick. Is that true, Emily Pazia? You all hear that for your moms? Yeah. So my mother would tell me that all the time, and I had to correct her when I became a doctor because I had an MD after my name, and I knew better. That doesn't make any difference. Guess what? She might be right. We thought the reason the cold was a problem was because the cold virus replicates better in lower temperatures. But a recent study out of Yale showed that it actually might be that our immune system doesn't do its job well when it's cold. Right? So here's the deal. The nose takes in the cold air, it warms it up for your lungs, but while it's doing that, it might inhibit the immune system. The nose warmers keep the immune system in your nose strong. Wow. So it might actually be able to beat off the viruses that are trying to get in there, which is a potential explanation for why mom was right. So I'm not sure you're going to completely stave off a cold, but if you're going to protect yourself, the best defense is just avoid touching your face, especially with germy hands. And maybe, these might make sense. They look nice anyway. It's a fashion statement. Everyone together, the change that we're seeing is happening right now. The journey's just beginning. Stay with us.